What's up guys, this is iTweaks here, and today I'm going to be showing you the top 20 Cydia tweaks that's compatible with iOS 7. Now I want to go through these as quickly as possible so this isn't a 30-minute long video, so we'll be taking a quick look at all 20 of these, and some of the tweaks in this video I have a full review on my channel, so you can go check those out there. So let's go ahead and start this off with CCToggles. So let's go into our settings here, scroll all the way down, and this is CCToggles right here. Here are the settings. You have your toggle settings, and you can enable your toggles up here as well as disable them by dragging them down here. So if we wanted to do that, we can just pull some down just like that, and that's going to disable those toggles. So you can see here when I pull this up, there's only 4 toggles up here at the top on the control center. But if I enable them just by swiping them back up, then you can see there's 6 of them right up there at the top. Now there's a bunch of different toggles. You can see all of these toggles, mostly from Flip Switch, that you can all add straight to your control center. Also, if we go back here, we have quick launches, which actually adds quick launch applications to the bottom of the control center, so right down here. So if we want to add some, just like the internal settings as well as the app switcher, if we swipe up right here, you can swipe over, and here are some more applications. You can also add applications right here, and it's going to load up all the applications that you have on your device. So if we wanted to add the compass, so now the compass is right there. So if we wanted to open that up, we can just tap on that and it's going to open right up. Also, going back into the settings here, and let's go back, you also can change the count per page. So you can change the amount of toggles per page. Let's just change that to 4, and we'll change the quick launch to 2. So you can see down here there's only 2 per page, and up here there's 4. So you have a little bit of options there when you're setting up your control center. Next up, we have hidden settings 7. So if we swipe up on our device here, you can see springboard settings right down here. If we tap on that, it's going to open up the internal settings for your springboard. And there's a lot of stuff that you can mess with in here, so I highly recommend getting this and just messing around with it. Some of the cool stuff that you can do is going into control center, and you can actually change up the color just by changing the highlight color right here. So if we wanted to change it to blue, now it's blue when we swipe up on our control center here. Well, first you have to actually get out of that. So you can see that this is blue. So let's go back in. Let's change it up to, let's go to orange. And let's also change the background darkens when you open up the control center. So let's hit done. And then you can see when I pull this up, it actually darkens in the background. You can change that up just a little bit as well. If we go right here, the darkening alpha. So now it's almost pitch black. But there's a ton of stuff that you can mess with in hidden settings 7s, and I highly recommend grabbing it and messing with it. Next up, we have DockShift. So let's jump into the settings here once again. Tap on DockShift will enable it, and then you can actually change the color of your dock. You can make it transparent. So if we go and check that out, you can see no dock down there at the bottom at all. If we go back in, you can change it to a dark milk glass. Let's change it to the opaque. So you can see it's really dark down there. And you also have some of these milk glass a bit clear. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between that. I mean, you can definitely tell a difference between that one because it's a whole lot brighter than the original. So you can see this is the original. Might be kind of hard to tell the difference on camera, but there definitely is some. So go ahead and grab DockShift and then mess with the different styles and see which one best fits your style. Now next up, we have TransparentVolume, and this is an incredibly annoying thing when you're sitting there watching a YouTube video, TV show, or movie, and you're trying to adjust the volume, and that annoying pop-up comes up right there, right in the middle of the screen, and you can't see through it, and it seems like it stays there forever. So this is actually going to fix that issue. If you just tap on the settings and then go down to TransparentVolume, you can actually change the transparency of that window. So you can see that you can actually barely even see that. It's definitely not near as obtrusive as it was to begin with. So definitely grab this. It's a lifesaver. Next, we have Zeppelin, and Zeppelin is going to allow you to change the carrier logo on your device. So if we open up the settings, tap on Zeppelin, obviously you will need to enable it, and then you have your themes right here, and there's a bunch of different themes that you can go through. You can even choose none if you want nothing up there for the carrier logo, and you can actually download different theme packs right off of Cydia. So you would just search for Zeppelin, and then you could find different packs and download those accordingly, and you can see which one you like the best. But it comes with a pretty good pack here. It's an oldie but a goodie, so I definitely recommend it. Alright, next up we have Sicarius. So if we jump into the settings here, This is the Sicarius settings, and you obviously have to enable this, and you have some options here to quit all the applications. You can have that enabled. You can ask before quitting, or you can just make it automatically quit all the applications. You can exclude active app, so whichever app you're using or the one that's on the front of the app switcher, as well as exclude active recording app, exclude now playing app, and you can also add specific system applications that you do want to exclude. You also have restart springboard enabled down here. You can have that ask you before you restart it as well. Now for the 3D card view, you can enable that when you're swiping across the app switcher, and you can also have it enabled always. So this is what I mean by the 3D view. If we open up the app switcher here and we swipe across, you see that is the 3D view. Now you can obviously, like I was saying, turn that on all the time just by tapping always, and then we open up the app switcher again, and it's always going to be leaning like that, so it has that 3D effect. Now the cool thing about this is you can swipe up on the springboard right here, and it's going to ask you if you want to quit all the applications. If you want to, just tap yes, and now since that was the active app, it didn't close that app. So you can see up here that I excluded the active app. So now let's go back, and now let's swipe up again, and now you can see that you can restart your springboard just by swiping up on the actual springboard in the app switcher. So we're not going to do that. We're going to tap cancel, and it's going to come right back down. But a really cool tweak with quite a few options, so I definitely recommend checking it out. Next up we have emphasize. So you can see here if we open up these settings, now this is in the Ryan Petrich repo, but this is it right here, emphasize, and if you haven't noticed already, it changes the color of the control buttons right here. So you can change these just by tapping on that, and you can change it to the app default. You can see that changing right up here. So if we tap butter, chocolate, orange, basically you tap on it and it automatically changes right up there. And it also works for the toggles, so if we go into something that has toggles like we were just in Sicarius, so you can see all the toggles now are that color. Next up we have Pandora Skips, and it's actually a very simple tweak. All that it does is allow you to skip through your Pandora songs, as many as you want, as often as you want. But while it's a very simple tweak, it definitely is useful if you use Pandora a lot. And next up here we have BetrFoldrs, and BetrFoldrs actually does something that the internal settings does, or the hidden springboard settings does, and it allows you to pinch to close on your folders, as well as nested folders and clear background. Now this is just a whole lot easier to manage rather than going into your hidden springboard settings every time if you want to mess with this a lot. But here you can see if we go into our folders that it has that clear background. You also are able to pinch to close, but one thing I wasn't able to get it to do is accept a folder inside a folder. Now you can always do it the little glitchy way where you tap and hold down and then double tap to open up the app switcher, and then you can see that it's still really big and gray. So just open up the other folder, hit the home button, and then there is your folder. So we can pinch to close, and then you have your nested folders. Alright, so next up we have GlowDock, and it's kind of hard to tell with this dock, but those icons in the dock are actually glowing. It has the little glow that's coming out from behind it. But something you can do is use DockShift, which I showed you earlier, and that's really going to show those icons glowing in the dock. Now it really just depends on what kind of theme you're going for on your iPhone, but I think this actually looks pretty good. So the next two tweaks I'm going to show you at the same time, one being Simplock and the other being Tabless. So if we go to our lock screen here, you can see that there's usually a tab here for your control center as well as your notification center, but there's not there anymore, and that's due to Tabless. So it really gives you that minimalistic look, and to really bring it all home, you have no slide to unlock text right here, and that's due to Simplock. So if you don't want that slide to unlock text right there, and you don't want your tab on your lock screen, then go ahead and give Tabless and Simplock a shot. Next up we have Purge, and it's a really simple tweak. It allows you to close all the applications just by long pressing on the cards on your app switcher. So it asks you, are you sure you want to kill all the applications? You can either tap cancel or yes. Again, a very simple tweak and very effective. So you can see here, if I open it back up, all the apps have been closed, and it's really just a preference of which tweak you want to actually kill all the apps running in the background. Next up we have lock screen tool. So if we go to our lock screen here, the first time that you install this tweak, it's going to say go to your iPhone settings. So let's just go to our iPhone settings, and this is actually going to allow you to change the string on that text on the lock screen. So we'll just tap on lock screen tool right here and then show the text on the lock screen, and then you can type in whatever you'd like. So we're just going to type in iTweaks. And you also have the option to hide the camera button if you want to do that. So let's go ahead and do that. Now let's go back. And you can see iTweaks right there, no camera button. So you're actually not going to be able to access the camera button if it's hidden as well. So just keep that in mind. So a pretty cool tweak that allows you to change the string on the slide to unlock text on your lock screen. Alright, so next up we have NC All Only. So you can see if I swipe down on the notification center, there is no more Today tab or Miss tab. It's all just the All tab. Now this is more of an iOS 6 type of notification center, but truly I never really use the Today tab or the Miss tab. So to me this is a huge improvement to the notification center. And if you're not a fan of the other two tabs as well, then go ahead and give NC All Only a shot. Alright, so next up we have SwitchSpring. So if we open up the app switcher here and swipe over, swipe up on the springboard, you can see you get this little pop-up here that says, do you want to restart your springboard? Do you want to quit all the applications, or do you want to cancel? So what we're going to do is swipe up and we're going to quit all the applications, and you can see if we open it back up, they're all gone except for the currently playing app. So if you have music going in the background and you accidentally quit all the applications, you don't usually want your music to quit. So that's a nice little perk for having SwitchSpring. Here we have a tweak called Rady Spot or Ratty Spot. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. But if we swipe over here, and if you use Pandora as well as Spotify on your device, then this is going to be a must-have jailbreak tweak. Because what this does is allow you to search for the song as well as the artist in Pandora in Spotify, if that makes sense. So right now I'm listening to Eminem, so we're going to hit on the little menu button, and then you get this new option right here with Rady Spot, and you can open this in Spotify. So if you tap on that, it's going to search for the artist as well as the song, and then you can tap on these little dots right here, and then you can add it to your playlist, you can star it, add it to queue, share it, swipe over, and you can go to album, artist, or start the radio. So if you use both these applications, then definitely check out Rady Spot. Alright, so here we have a new tweak called NoSlowAnimation, and what this does is speed up all of the animations. So you can see here that I'm just jumping in and out of applications really quickly. It's really springy, makes all the animations really springy, and you can see there's really no options to configure with this tweak, but one thing you can do is go into your settings and go to General, tap on Accessibility, and then turn on Reduce Motion. And when you return on that, it goes really quick. There's no animation, and it just opens up the application extremely fast, as you can see right there. Alright, and here we have ControlTask. And what this tweak does, if you open up the control center here, you can see all of your open applications down here. Now this is going to be acting like an app switcher, so you can just open up the specific application just by tapping on its respective icon. So a pretty cool tweak. There are some settings here, so you can see every time that you open up the control center, it's automatically going to go to that first page of your recently opened apps. Now that's something that you can actually change in the settings. So if we go into the settings here, you can change that default to quick launch. So it's going to open up to the default quick launch applications right down here. Now another thing that you can do is put it on 5 apps per page. So if we swipe up and swipe over, now there are 5 apps rather than 4. Also with ControlTask, you can swipe up, and once you have all these applications over here on your right, if you swipe back over to the left and you have your normal quick launch icons right down here at the bottom, if you swipe one more time to the left, it's actually going to kill all the applications. So you can see if I try to swipe back over, they're not there, as well as if I open up the springboard here, they're all gone. So nice little tweak, and it gives a little color to the control center. Alright, so next up we have another music tweak, and it's called Blurred MusicApp. Now what this does, if you open up your music and you tap on a song, then you'll notice that it actually blurs out the music app right under the controls up here, and it makes it look a whole lot more uniform. And I think it looks a whole lot better because it really just takes the color from the album art cover and blurs it out over the exterior part of the music app. Now you can see if we switch it up a bit and we scroll down here, let's go to this song, and you can see that it does it for this as well. So it just looks a whole lot better, in my opinion, than the original layout, because really it kind of stuck out like a sore thumb, the album art cover, against the music application. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button. If you want to see more of my videos of iOS 7 jailbreak tweaks and tutorials, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter for updates. And if you haven't checked out my gaming channel, go over there and stop by and say hey. Alright guys, until next time, peace.